New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. A Hispanic business owner who sued Oregon for blocking her from the state's COVID-19 relief fund exclusively for Black business owners will be getting a payout after all, as the state agreed this week to settle the lawsuit over their race-based program. Maria Garcia, who owns Revolution Cafe House in Portland, sued Oregon last year over its Oregon Care Fund, for which the state legislature dedicated $62 million from the Federal CARES Act towards grants that would only be eligible to Black Oregonians. Garcia claims that the fund is unconstitutional because it is based on race. Quote, "This lawsuit is not anti-Black or pro-Latino, but a lesson for our elected officials that the state has to be inclusive in all of its decisions and offer equal opportunities to access funds." The Oregonian report Friday that the state deposited more than $46,000 to the court in December following the preliminary injunction request from Garcia's lawyer, and that the amount was for the maximum amount Garcia would have been eligible for under the program if she were Black. So, as there were no funds left in this program, there wasn't anything to do but settle this case. "We will challenge any future efforts by Oregon to divide its citizens by race, which hopefully everyone now understands is both unfair and illegal. This is the second settlement Oregon has made in the case challenging the Oregon CARES Fund. The first was in March when the state settled with a white owner of the Great Northern Resources, a timber salvage company, who the state agreed to pay $230,000. Edward Bloom, who represented the plaintiff in that case, told Fox News ahead of the settlement, quote, "If the state of Oregon wants to target adversely impacted businesses, then fine. But help Hispanic businesses, Asian American businesses, Native American businesses, and white businesses that have been adversely affected and not just Blacks. That is unconstitutional." In a reaction to the first settlement, Governor Kate Brown issued a statement defending Oregon's race-based program. Quote, "As a state, we have a duty to aid those in need, particularly Oregonians, who suffer from systematic racism and are disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. The Oregon CARES Fund has been an enormous success and has provided urgent relief to Black Oregonians, Black-led nonprofits, and Black-owned businesses, which are less likely to have access to federal aid."
Here comes a new challenger!
New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced Sunday that $10 million will be given to organizations supporting Asian American communities disproportionately affected by the pandemic. Funding will be allocated through the Asian American Federation, the Coalition for Asian American Children and Families, and the Chinese American Planning Council. And these organizations will distribute the money to community groups that provide direct services. Quote, "The pandemic has had a devastating effect on so many vulnerable and marginalized communities across New York State. The Asian American community was especially hit hard, not only by the pandemic, but also by increased hate and violent crimes. The AAF will get $6.8 million to provide support for organizations that have witnessed a sudden increase in demand for services due to the pandemic." Deputy Director Joe Hahn stated this: "The lack of investment that supports the most vulnerable members of the Pan-Asian community was glaringly obvious during the pandemic when we scrambled to find resources to meet the needs that the government wasn't able to. The rise of anti-Asian violence and the sharp and sustained increase in demand for direct services has been staggering. The AAF will directly fund 59 community organizations that provide food pantries for families impacted by job loss, offer home delivery meals to older adults, run after-school programs for children affected by remote learning, offer case management to help clients access affordable housing, immigration legal services, and DV services, and offer vital mental health services according to Hahn. Data published by the Center for Studies of Hate and Extremism at California State University. San Bernardino showed the anti-Asian hate crimes increased by 339% last year compared to the year before, which is part of an overall 11% increase in suspected hate crimes reported across a dozen of America's largest cities. Quote, the increase in anti-Asian violence and hate combined with the economic devastation of the pandemic has left our community in crisis. The CPC will receive about $700,000 to expand public access to resources, expand workforce services, enhance wraparound case management, and expand early childhood development. Asian American businesses were hit on multiple fronts during the pandemic, including closures, language barriers making it difficult to access government aid, and fear of safety of Asian American violence that also rose. Nearly 90% of small Asian American firms lost revenue last year, a rate higher than for other racial and ethnic groups, according to a study released by the New York Federal Reserve and AARP in March. The $10 million in funding will come from New York's $212 billion spending plan, the largest budget in the state's history, which passed last April. And by their powers combined, they just got rid of anything close to reparations for black people. That's how they did it. Let me also further put this into perspective for people, just in case you don't know about Oregon, right? Oregon race and Hispanic origin, right? So white alone percentage is 86.7%, right? Black or African American percentage alone is 2.2%. Let me repeat that one more time. The white percentage is 86.7%. The black percentage is 2.2%, right? The American or the Native American percentage, which they wanted to talk about, right? 1.8%. The Asian percentage that they wanted to mention, 4.9%. Native Hawaiian, 0.5. People who consider themselves two or more races, 4%. Hispanic or Latino, 13.4%. White alone or non Hispanic or Latino percentage, 75.1%. So when we look at those numbers, we can specifically see who was really trying to get that money and who was really angry, right? That black people had any type of funding that was specifically doled out to them. They were like, "Oh no, wait a minute. We're both doing the same jobs. We're both doing the same things. I think that we're both Americans right now. I think that we are all Americans right now, and all of us as Americans should really get a share of this money that you guys are giving out to everybody else." See how that works? This is to let everybody know, and this is specifically to let black people know at any point in time, if we are to ever get any type of money or reparations from the United States government, this is exactly what is going to happen. You're going to have people across the country who don't even identify as black, who don't even care about black people, who don't even associate with black people. They will literally become black overnight. They will literally see all of black America as Americans magically, right? But it's only having to do with money because now there's a value, right, when it comes to being considered black. So when the moment in time that that happens, all of these people are going to roll up, they're going to perform a lawsuit, and they're going to try to perform some type of injunction or to stop, the reparations. They're going to be like, but oh, what about us? What about our history from such and such and such? Our people were enslaved and such. We had, like I said before, black people, y'all better pay attention. You better pay attention. People will start teaming up against black people. Like I said, everybody that the black community is cool with right now is cool because it ain't no money involved. All that's there is people wanting to like jock off of whatever black people come up with. So that's the slang, that's the swag, right? The way that we dress, the way that we wear jewelry, the clothing, the hairstyles, the way that we rap, the way that we make beats, the way that we dance, everything that we pretty much make that turns into gold, to the point where everybody else around the world wants to emulate and be just like that, even to the point of people wanting to do blackface. That's how badly, right, they want to be, in a sense, cool, or the popular kids, right? But the moment in time that a value gets thrown above being a Black American, being seen as foundational, that's when everybody and their mama now is a part of Black America, when they were nowhere to ever be seen before any of that took place, right? So then we move over to New York. And magically, all of these same people that wanted to stop this going down in Oregon, I don't see none of these individuals in New York. Ain't that amazing? Ain't that amazing? But yet, these people care about everybody as Americans, right? Magically, in Oregon, everybody's an Oregonian, right? Everybody's share alike, right? I had to stop the interview that they had on Fox News with the one woman who was a farmer, because magically they couldn't find any Black farmers that they wanted to sit up there and interview that had an issue with what was specifically taking place, right? And as I read to you in that story, it was amazing how when the woman who sued, the Hispanic woman who sued, she got that 42 or that 46 grand, magically she shut up. She didn't try to go for like more money. Like I said, that's all a lot of these people are about. They're about money. The moment in time that they think that they can like zip in and do like a lawsuit and get something real easy, they're going to sit up there and do it, and they're going to shut up, and they're going to wait until the next moment they can do the exact same thing, because they ain't trying to work for nothing. If they really wanted to sue for something, then they would have sued the American government for the things they've been doing to agriculture, to the farmers. They would have been done that a long time ago. They would have been going after Monsanto. But like I said, they would rather go after Black people versus a larger corporation who is doing them more harm than good, who is robbing them of more money than actually giving back to the farmers directly out there. But like I said, I digress, because they know what it's like to sit up there and fight that beast. It's a losing battle. So this is why they go directly after Black people and whatever Black people have happening. But like I said before, it's amazing how they didn't do this to the Asian Americans directly out there in the Pacific Islands. It's amazing how none of these groups wanted to perform a lawsuit, wanted to start this ruckus and all this other stuff, talking about, oh, what about us? What about us? What about us? Other communities other than the Asian community has been hit pretty hard and da 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 da. Like I said before, it's all a game. It's all a game, but pay very close attention to the people who come directly after Black people. Whenever something is good that's about to happen to Black people, watch how many other people start wanting to try to cut in front of the line. How many people want to raise their hands? How many people want to start saying, what about me? What about us? What about me? What about us? We're all Americans. We're all God's children. I don't see color. Neither should the United States. This is illegal what they're doing. Now it's illegal. But when y'all been acting as $5 Indians since the beginning of time, and we call that illegal, y'all just call that game. Like I said before, y'all gonna get what's coming to y'all. That's the best way I can sit up there and put it. Y'all can keep sitting up there sliding by. Y'all can keep sitting up there cheating. Y'all can work the system however y'all want to sit up there and work it. But what is going to end up happening is going to happen, and there's not going to be anything that you can do to sit up there and stop it, because you're going to incur that wrath, all that negative energy, all of that lying, all of that falsifying, all of that storytelling that you've been doing, and it's just sitting there in the air, all of that negative energy. Karma is going to sit up there and strike, and it's going to come down just like a spirit bomb on Kid Buu, and it's going to obliterate you. It's going to be game over. It ain't going to be nothing that you can sit up there and do. You're going to have to sit up there and take that massive Ultra L. Ultra L. But like I said, I digress. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.